Hello, besties! Welcome to Martinez with Eddie, your ultimate destination for everything Bravo. Join me as we spill the tea, dissect the drama, and uncork the juiciest gossip from your favorite reality TV shows. You guys, I gotta be honest, I was out for dinner. I had four freaking sangrias, so I'm not like drunk. I'm just like at that point where you like feel like good. So expect a lot of like uncensored conversation. I'm not gonna hold anything back. I mean, you had to see me. Even when I'm sober, I'm like super uncensored. So just add a layer of alcohol to it. It's gonna be a freaking menage. Um, Tonight, I have the pleasure to have one of my dear friends, an amazing content creator, and yeah, I don't think I have to introduce him because he is the amazing Andy from the real Andy of Beverly Hills. Hi, Andy. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Hi, Eddie. How are you? I'm
How you
like very
doing?
happy. I'm. It has been a lot, but like I'm finally getting back to normal. But it has been a journey. Let's just leave it at that.
I mean, it's been quite the week for you, if the least that we can say. I mean, that was a very interesting experience that you had. I guess we're gonna talk about it. We have to touch this topic because it's still very recent and it's part of the experience that many content creators have been dealing with,
Yeah,
especially since New Jersey ended and uh, pretty much content creators being shut down and asked to take down content, or in your case, being demonetized. So we have to
yeah,
go through all this mess.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like shocked, to be honest, with your experience because you have worked so hard for your YouTube
It
channel.
was it was it was very insane. Like um, it looks shorter. It looks like it was just like 2 weeks because that's where like I decided to tell everyone. But like the demonetization, it came like a month ago, and it was like so out of nowhere that
Hmm.
us as content creators, like we do this and we don't expect these things to happen because when you have like a very positive channel like we do, we accept everyone. We yes, we have opinions like everyone else, but like we accept also everyone else's opinions, so it was a little bit like shocking that without any warning one day it was just like, oh yeah, sorry, your channel is demonetized. It's like, what are you talking about? I have been doing this for 3 years. I never have like a strike. I never have like not even like a copyright claim. You know, like everything has always been super good with my channel. So it was very much, and YouTube doesn't give you anything, doesn't give you an explanation, doesn't give you like, hey, this is what happened. It was very much like, oh, I'm so sorry, you are no longer, I forgot the word, but like you're not able to monetize anymore or something like that. I remember the exact word, and that was it. And then I have to like go and talk to people, and like do my own investigation on my own to kind of like figure out who this person was, or this people or team or wherever, right? And then I was like, what are we gonna do now, because I mean, we live from this, we work in this. I don't have a second job anymore or anything, like I'm completely dedicated to this. But then I think like everything, you live and learn, and then it's like, okay, how would you like grow up from this, and of course I was not going to stop fighting this whole thing because I do not believe it's fair that these people, who has a little bit of power or wherever, you know, will go out and try to silence us for what? I keep saying like you are a D-list celebrity on a reality show, so if you don't want people talking about you or the bullshit that you do out there, don't come to a reality show. It's that simple.
Exactly. It's that
And
simple. Like, if you don't
it's
want
not.
your if you don't want the dirt or your life to be talked about online, then just either clean the house or don't come on a reality TV show.
Yeah. And I was thinking like if we were like talking like fake shit, or making up stuff, or defamation, that's different, because there has been channels who do that, and there has been like big scandals doing that. But when we have these very positive channels, like I said, like we accept everyone's opinions, we talk about what is already out there, we are very careful on the way that we present, rumors or news or whatever to the people. Like it doesn't really make any sense. Now, yeah, so I have to move on, from YouTube for a little bit, and I have to create my own podcast, which it was something that it was on the back of my mind for a very long time, but I like never really went into it, but then you just start like, okay, what I'm gonna do now, you cannot just like stay there and cry and like, no, I mean, you get upset for like a minute, and then it's like what is
You
gonna
gotta
do
work. You gotta work.
gotta work, and I also have, I feel I'm so grateful to like the community that I have built, that I don't I feel like I cannot leave these people just hanging in there. I cannot just
Mhm.
be like, okay, bye, no. So I wanted to do it also for them, and to just find a way to like, how can I keep doing this, and I create my podcast initially to like do the same thing that I was doing in YouTube, on a different format. And as of yesterday, actually, um YouTube, I like finally like got back to me, and basically I got back the monetization of my channel
So you
yesterday.
got it back.
I got it back, but I had to fight for a very long time.
That's
You
what I
know?
like to hear. This is the type of stories that I want to hear because I mean, we do this because we love social media, because we love Bravo, because we love pop culture. And we've been
Yeah.
doing this for a very long time. So for people to come in and just try to destroy the hard work that we had done to create this platform is really unfair.
Yeah.
And I'm talking also from my personal experience too. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I had an interview with Jennifer Aiden
Yeah.
last week, and literally the day after I put it up on my platform, I was asked to take it down from Bravo. And a lot of the reasoning behind it was because some people in within the cast weren't that happy with Jen going on a podcast. Period. It wasn't even because she was talking about them in any form or shape. It was because she was having a platform just to speak her mind. So yeah, it was the struggle. I'm just happy that just like she fought for my podcast. She fought for what she felt it was right, and I got my podcast back up on my platforms, on my YouTube channel, and all the audio stuff. So I'm happy that you got your monetization back on YouTube, because that part I did not know. I only knew until the part where you were building your own Patreon, which I think you should continue doing regardless, because
I,
at the
I
end of the
I'm
day,
gonna continue. So this is what happened yesterday. They got back to me. No, I'm sorry. No, they didn't. They did not got back to me initially. Actually, it was a fan. Well, one of the subscribers. I'm sorry, and she was like, "Hey, I'm seeing ads on your videos again. Did you got your monetization back?" And I was like, no idea, what are you talking about, so I went on. I saw the ads, so I went on and I reached out to YouTube directly, and they were like very much like, oh yeah, yes, your channel is monetized again. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, so just as they took it away, they were like, okay, yeah, we're just not gonna let you know, or whatever. It was like super random. And the main thing that I did was, I pushed them, because I was like, I want to know why you are monetizing my channel again, you know like, what is the reason you are monetizing? Because when I say I fight, I talk to YouTube almost every single day for a month, trying to find a
yeah.
reason. And then I talk to other people, which, uh it's the reason why I kind of like find out who was behind this. But I I told them, what is the reason you are deciding to give me the monetization back, and they told me first, a bunch of bullshit. They send me a bunch of like articles and like things like very robotic. I'm like, that's not what I'm asking you. Like, focus. I need to tell me with your words why I'm getting this. That was very petty. I knew why. I just wanted them to like tell me. You
Mm-hmm.
know. And they were like, at the end of the day, at the end of the conversation, they were like, well, the thing was like, our team review all of your videos, and we actually came to the conclusion that you actually didn't violate any of the community
Guidelines.
guidelines and all of that. And just that, it was like, that's the only thing that I needed to hear, that I was not doing anything wrong, and there was no reason for my channel to get demonetized. And when it comes to the podcast, no, I'm not gonna stop doing it. I kind of like learned that lesson, and I cannot trust YouTube 100% anymore. So what I'm doing, and I already let everyone know on my channels, I was that so my podcast is still gonna be going, and I created like completely. It's called "Let's Talk About This Mess with the Real Andy of Beverly Hills," and I'm gonna be dropping, a video every single week on the podcast. It's gonna be very pop culture, Bravo, like a little bit of everything, and also all the exclusive material that I'm gonna get from Bravo is gonna be dropping exclusively on my Patreon. And of course, some videos, my patrons are gonna have early access than the YouTube channel. But I am not gonna let it go, because I feel that that was the lesson that I don't know if the universe or whatever was trying to give me. Like, do not put all your eggs on one basket. Like, kind of like be everywhere.
That's exactly what I've been doing myself. Like I'm trying to create different platforms that in case one of those platforms collapse, at least I have other places to go to and make sure that my followers go and whatever. Um, Somebody mentioned me to create a. Actually, they told me you should create Patreon, especially since what happened with Jennifer Aiden. So I'm like, you know what? I think I should, and that's like the next step right now. That's what I'm gonna be creating. I want to make sure that I have a exclusively just for the Patreon. Like I've been doing on YouTube right now. I wanted to expand just for YouTube, like something just for that. And what I've been doing is I created this section called Martini with Eddie, a shot of reality, where I drop like daily little like clips of like me talking about any Bravo news of the day. I do maybe like twice a day, and it's short and quick, but I still do it with my own style. I'm not just like trying to read the news and just like,
Yeah.
okay, tell me what it is. No, I just read the news and I tell you what I think. I do the same fucking crazy stuff that I do on this podcast, but that is what make us as content creators, especially Bravo focused content creators, that we need to find ways to like jump some hoops, because it feels like I mean, it feels like the problems are coming from within the house, meaning like it's coming from, um, you know, cast members and people around these people that are trying to silence creators. Like, I don't know if you feel this way, but I had never experienced this level of like trolling and attack or anything since New Jersey. Like I experienced it a little bit with Beverly Hills, and we thought it was really bad. No, this shit was insane.
New Jersey has always been. Look, I have been doing this for 3 years already, and every single year, New Jersey is the most toxic fan base that we are a part of. But I think honestly, like the key to me, and it's like you start you stand your ground. Like I'm very open. I say like I love Teresa. I'm a tree hugger or wherever. But at the same time, I'm like, if you are a fan of Melissa and Margaret, I don't get it, but like, do you? Like, I try to remember people that like this is like these are not our friends. These are not like our BFF. Like, why are people going so hard? For these reality shows that it becomes so toxic.
I
Like the
agree.
amount of things now. New Jersey is a specific thing because, as you said, now we have the cast member getting involved also. Like, you're not the first one that have a problem with the cast of New Jersey. I know about a lot of like Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts that have been going through like a lot of drama when it comes to New Jersey from the actual cast members. So it's kind of like even the cast members are, feeding this toxicity, is just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, when it should be like, give me your opinion, I'll give you my opinion. If you like it, okay. If you don't like it, that should be okay as well, right? We're not talking politics. This is not the president of the United States, so
We're
why
not curing cancer.
yeah, like, why are people so like, oh, you like Teresa, I'm going to destroy you and your family and your dog? It's like, why? you know it's so it's crazy to me that people go like
That
that
hard.
far. Yeah.
I want to read this message from Erin. And I'm gonna read this because I know Erin loves Melissa, and she still comes to my podcast and she shared her opinion, and she has never been put in a position where she want to leave the conversation or I don't listen to her opinion. She says, I love both Melissa and Teresa, not so much Joe. Thank you. Me too. That's my problem. I watch both Martini with Eddie and the real Andy of Beverly Hills, and I love both channels. I never had a bad experience because this is the point. Like, I talk shit about Melissa and Margaret, and I'm very open about it. I don't care. People say, "Oh, you're biased." Yes, it's my opinion, but just because I have an opinion doesn't mean that I don't respect your
uh,
opinion. You can have a seat at my table and have a conversation with us. You don't have to get off personal, and that's my problem. A lot of people out there feel so personally attacked by simply us having a different opinion when it comes to housewife. I'm like, no, sweetie, it's not about you. I don't care that much to hate you as a person. I just going to disagree with you with what you think is right on that reality TV show.
yeah,
Period.
it's crazy. And like, yeah, we get some kind of like, I mean, we get our favorites on every single franchise and on every single show of Bravo, but for some reason New Jersey just take it to another level, and I do think it's because the cast gets so involved. I think what happened with this Fuda guy, you were gonna go on like a space on Twitter, and something happened, right? And then,
Yes.
yeah, and then this guy goes on another chan and another podcast or wherever, who is going to be like, oh, I love you. And then, what, why, like, it doesn't make sense why they get, it's like they take also the cast members, they also take it so personal to
Mm-hmm.
go that far to try to deactivate these accounts and to try to silence other people's opinions. I'm sorry, I mean, even like living here in America, in the United States, like freedom of speech, and that you can do, say, on whatever the fuck you want to do, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, that now that you mentioned that part too, that was actually quite crazy. I didn't put one and one together until I saw Fuda on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind Fuda doing his round of media because that is part of being a reality TV star. People are
Mhm.
gonna invite you to their podcast. People are gonna like you. That's okay. That's fair game in this content creator environment. What I was really strange was that the day that the podcast that he was on dropped was a day that a Instagram account, I mean Twitter account that I'm very friendly with, wanted me to co-host a space on Twitter, and they had some information on the Fuda case that they wanted to share with the space. Which I was like, okay, that's fair game because I mean, if you have something to say, if you have some proof or something, I'll be there. I support you because like that account has been very supportive of my, podcast and Twitter account and whatever. So, literally 2 hours before we went live, uh, her, I mean, their Twitter account and their personal account and their like backup account, all three at the same time were locked.
No,
And
like,
I
I
was
didn't.
like, that was weird.
That's insane. That's insane. I mean, and why? So people don't know that you have like a felony from like 1,000 years ago or whatever, like who cares? Who give a fuck? Like,
And that's the problem with a lot of people, especially they go on reality TV show that I seen lately, is the fact that they try to erase the past, hoping that nobody talks about it. But no, you go on a reality TV show, people gonna dig anything that you have in your past. That is going to happen. That is something new. People has done it pretty much on every single franchise, so it's not like a shocker. To me, it's more questionable this new narrative about like the smear campaigns. I'm like, no, 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 no. Content creators, Twitter accounts, Instagram accounts have been doing this for a long as time.
yeah.
We talk about the people that we don't like, the same amount that we talk about the people that we like. Some people might take it to the extreme of like trying to call it their families and whatever. Yes, that happened, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that it's something that just started happening right now. The problem is when the actual cast member start taking way too seriously what is happening out there. And I'm like, I'm 100% sure a lot of these accounts with like there are like fan of like one person, they not necessarily have like connection with no one in production. They just like to pretend that they do. So when the cast member gives them the time of the day, you just feeding that narrative.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
ignore it, and trust me, it will go away. We move to the next franchise every time that happens. We've seen it happening. We went from Salt Lake City to Beverly Hills. We were trying to dig dirt on Jen Shah. We were trying to dig dirt on Erica Jane. And then we moved to the next one. That
Yeah.
happens every single time. So if people took this moment to like, okay, I'm on a reality TV show. People are gonna do this, but I'm not gonna feed into this because then what you're actually doing is making these people part of the storylines, and that it's when everything becomes extremely toxic
hmm
because it gets out of hand. It gets
I
out
feel
of
like
hand.
I feel it's also like it really show that these people, they must have, then I don't know, big things to hide, because why get so paranoid that people will like investigate you or like come after you. Like, why so hard? I mean, I keep saying this, like, look about Teresa, not Louis. Look about Teresa. How many rumors have we really heard about Teresa doing anything? You know, probably close to zero, especially after she came back from prison and all of that. Like, we never heard like, oh, Teresa didn't pay this person, or oh, Teresa owns, I don't know, this, or Teresa. We almost never hear that kind of things, right? But when it comes to Joe Gorga, when it comes to Margaret, when it comes to like all the other side of the couch, there is always like so many rumors. Maybe that's why they're so paranoid. But again, if you don't want people talking about you, then don't join a reality show. At this point, you should know that especially the Real Housewives franchise, it's not only national, it's an international thing.
Hmm.
And when you join this show, you will get ears and eyes in every single corner of the world. You have
True.
lawyers after you, you have doctors after you, you have all kind of like careers after you. And it's so, I don't know if it's naive or whatever, but like to pretend that you can actually hide big skeletons is not gonna happen. You know?
Look what happened to Jen Shah. She joined Salt Lake City with the idea that maybe being on TV, it would be like kind of like a smoke and mirrors to protect herself against what was going to happen, and it still happened. I mean,
Mhm.
you just can't avoid this type of situation. You just don't go on reality TV expecting that your past is gonna be erased because guess what? You are putting yourself in the spotlight for people to dig shit on you. For like, if you are freaking hiding from the FBI, don't go on freaking national TV.
Yeah, it's
Like,
insane.
what
I
is
like, I
what is
hope
wrong
they're
with you?
thinking. But I mean, and also like the double standard that, for example, what they did to Jennifer, like trying to take your podcast down. Having like Margaret being in like hundreds podcasts and like even live shows and like spilling all kind of tea out there. And I don't think I have never seen or hear that, oh, Jennifer and Teresa are trying to take Margaret's podcast down. So why is always coming from that side? Like
Well,
I don't get it.
I always say, like, when you really have something to hide, you get scared when people are trying to find out.
Yeah,
Like, remember, I have a question from Aaron, and I'm gonna connect it to this.
okay.
When when we were watching Salt Lake City, for example, Meredith Mark hired a private investigator. She spoke about it very cavalier on the show, and no one gave a shit. No
Yeah,
one. People were like, okay, she's going after Jane Sharp. People were excited. People were into it. But when Louis mentioned it, allegedly, because I mean, it can go both ways. He denied it. He said that he was out of anger and that he couldn't. He needed to lie again just because he needed to kind of back up the lie that he said the night before. So and then Bo Dietl came out and said like, no, he never hired me. We are talking about something completely different. This is not about the cast. It's about somebody trying to go after Louis, and all the fingers are heading towards Margaret. That's what happened. It's not like he was actually
mhm,
investigating Margaret directly. So when he said that, the whole Twitter world exploded in this crazy magnet. Like, oh my gosh, who hires a private investigator against their cast? I'm like, Meredith Mark did it on Salt Lake City, and nobody
yeah.
gave a shit. And
And
since we're talking about Salt Lake City, before we change the channel and the topic, Aaron sent a question. What do you each think of Mary coming back to Salt Lake City? I
okay,
want you to go first.
okay. So the first thing I want to say is, like, I don't even understand why it's such a big deal to hire a private investigator. Honestly, like, I don't get it. Like, if you want to get shit about other people, like, okay, whatever, just do it. um Especially if they're coming after you, right? And honestly, that's exactly what Margaret, maybe she doesn't hire a private investigator, but she is a private investigator, so she goes after everyone. And now about Mary, oh my god, I literally talk about that today. I was like, to me, my thing is, yes, Mary Cosby is very funny, and she gives the one-liners and all of that. But I'm always saying, like, we are laughing at Mary Cosby. We are never laughing with her. Like, she is the joke, right? And to me, bringing her back is like, should we forget about all the shit that happened on Salt Lake City with Mary Cosby? Should we forget about the racist comments against Black people, against Mexican people, against Asian people? Should we forget all the shit that happens surrounded the church, that we all dig in, that we all had interviews with, like, people from the church, and there was like family members talking, and there was like everyone talking. So should we just forget all about that just because she's funny and she's gonna bring us one or two good one-liners, when she is like super problematic? I don't know, I think people know this, but like, one of the things that they did this season is that they went to a gay bar. And Mary Cosby allegedly had a huge problem, and she didn't want to go inside the gay bar at all, and she stayed in the band, in the Sprinter band, for a good time, until she was finally convinced to go inside just to film, because she doesn't approve of that lifestyle. So should we just forget about like all of those things just because she is funny and she is weird and she is, again, it's not like she's funny and we're laughing with her. We are constantly laughing at her because she's weird, you know. So I mean, I am not over the moon. I'm more excited about the cast that is returning, and their relationships, and also I want to meet these new housewives, which, what I heard, I think one of them, which I don't know if it's gonna be a friend or a full time, I think used to work for Jen Shaw at some point. And another one that I don't know if she actually made it or not, but like, she was supposed to be in a polygamy relationship or something.
Relationship. I
Yeah,
heard that. I'm not sure if she actually made it. For
yeah.
my understanding, or I don't know if the same person or not, but there was a cast member. I'm gonna say this because I was one of the people who found out and put it out there in the universe. Was when Salt Lake City was casting new people and like testing new people, this name came up a lot, and she was kind of like posting stuff with like some of the cast members. Some of the cast members were following her already, so like, this seems very telling that she is one of the people that they're trying to cast for the show. So, um, then we found out, including me doing my digging and my espionage, putting my little Nancy Drew hat.
Yeah.
We found out that this woman was extremely problematic. When I say extremely, it's like very homophobic comments and very weird posts on like racist undertones. And I'm like, do we need this? So I posted it, and on Instagram and Twitter, obviously it got tracked, went a little viral, whatever. And somehow the people who's in charge of casting in Salt Lake City um, sent me a message on Instagram saying like, I just want to make sure that you know that this person is definitely not involved anymore with the cast. I'm like, so now you're telling me this
Yeah.
when when we got all this juice, when we got all the juice out of the whole thing. But yeah, going back to Aaron's questions, I I'm not very sold on the idea of Mary coming back because I was never a fan. I once again like Andy said, like she has great one liners. She's quirky, and that's interesting. But I don't think she is very open to the public. I think
Mm.
she's very sheltered. I think she's very closed. So she is not going to share her life much on the show. Like every time that she mentioned anything about her life, we kind of forgot about it. Like she became once again kind of like just the somebody who's narrating the story instead of just like actually being part of the story.
Mm.
So it's like, I mean, we saw Mary Cosby talking to her mannequins in her closet. That's how sheltered she is. I mean, I was like, how? I mean, you're talking to your man. That's really funny. That's like funny for a different type of reality TV show,
Yeah.
not for housewife. I expect my housewife to be able to open themselves to the good, to the bad, and the ugly in their lives. And I
Mm.
think Mary Cosby doesn't have that. I understand that maybe it's because she's involved in a church and they want to create this perfect image for the congregation and stuff like that, and that is okay with whatever she does. I'm not part of any church. I'm not religious. I do believe in a higher power, but I'm not part of any organized religion because I think they're all quite questionable. So I do believe that her being the head of a church is what make her a not so entertaining housewife because
Mm.
always gonna try to kind of like shelter herself from anything. And like you said, like, I did not know that she was having issues to go into a gay bar and she was pretty much forced. I do hope that if that happened, production show us that part
Mm.
because this needs to be shown. I mean, like, I do know that a lot of people love Mary Cosby, but I'm the type of person that if you, I mean, you can have your opinions, but being homophobic and use your religion as an excuse to me doesn't sit well whatsoever because you are just projecting your hate
Yeah.
and you are using your religion as that shield. So please no. I mean, you might not want to be surrounded by the gay culture and stuff like that, whatever. But do not spew hate against our community because we deal with this too much in America, too much to
Yeah.
now seeing it from people that we watch on a show that we really just watch to enjoy. So that's my point when it comes to Mary Cosby. I'm not excited. I did hear that she is only in a few episodes. She
Mm.
didn't film the whole entire season. I think she wasn't, like I said, she wasn't comfortable around the camera. So she was like, I mean, she left on her own terms. So maybe that was a sign for her that reality TV was not her thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why even she came back. I don't know if she's doing a favor to Meredith, or like why, what is exactly the reason why she decided to return. Yeah, I also heard that it's just going to be like a couple episodes, that it's not going to be like a recurrent thing during the whole season, which I'm fine with it. Let's see what she brings. I mean, honestly, I mean, the only redemption that we could get from Mary will be if she was like running away from her grandfather slash husband and saying that he was the one who made her do everything, or I don't know, like some kind of like thing like that. But otherwise, I'm like not comfortable with Mary Cosby. I mean, again, you could be a little controversial, and I'm fine with it. We have many housewives who have different point of views, but when it goes so, yeah, like so dark and like against absolutely everything that it is out there. I mean, it shows like to me, you're not a good person. When you are using religion not only against homophobia, but like against like a bunch of like other things. It doesn't sit well with me. So I'm like, whatever. Like, I will watch, because I do know that next season is going to be very interesting. We're gonna have to like re-understand Salt Lake City. Jen Show is not there anymore, and even though she is a criminal and all of that, she was good reality TV. So
Mm-hmm.
now we're gonna have to like
Yeah.
re-change everything, but there's still going to be a lot of drama. Whitney Rose is was yesterday actually spilling some tea. She did said that she's gonna go through some stuff with Lisa Barlow, but she actually talked about Mary Cosby. She said that Mary Cosby is going to be very chaotic, on her return. I know that actually Meredith and Lisa have been working her issues, so we're gonna see an evolution on that. Angie Katzenevas, which honestly I love,
I love
is
her
going
too.
is going to be back. So the only one that I was a little bit sad, I think, is Dana. I don't think Dana is gonna be back at all, or I don't. I haven't heard actually anything about her. But
I mean, based on what I have been seeing online, she is not back on the
she's not. Yeah.
show. I mean, she has a real estate career, and her posts on Instagram are always along those lines. So there is no sign of her filming or even testing for the show anymore. So I do believe that she was let go. It is quite disappointing because I do think she had the potential to be a great
Yeah.
housewife, you know?
I do think we
Um,
need someone that is like, fast, and that is able to like react like this kind of way. Because again, we do need some good reality TV. We are not watching these shows to watch a bunch of ladies drinking tea. So drama is always going to be a part of this. So I don't know.
I mean, I do like my housewife rich and petty, so I do expect some drama. I don't want it to be dark all the time. I don't want Jersey on every single franchise. I
Oh
mean,
no.
we had
Can you
enough with
imagine?
Jersey. We had enough with Vanderpump Rules this season. Like we've been having a back to back dark seasons on these very like pillars and crown jewels of Bravo. So I want it to be more like light petty drama. And this question goes along those lines. We are watching Orange County. Orange County has been having a renaissance when it comes to the way that they are bringing back like the stupidity of housewife in a fun way. And Aaron is asking what are both of you thinking of about Tamra and her return so far?
Well, the thing is, I love Orange County, you know, and I don't know how Tamara does these things, because we all know that Tamara is, I mean, she created the housewife as we know it, like they gave her that title, like she was the first housewife to ever really create drama with other housewife, and like make them realize, ooh, this is what people like. Um, the 3 episodes that we have watched of Orange County, to me, are already way better than the past like 3 seasons of Orange County.
Correct.
You know,
Yes.
and I mean, to me, it's not all about Tamara, but I do feel that because she returned to the show, everyone was like, "Oh shit, we have to bring our A game," you know. And we have even Gina is bringing her A game, and I'm like, why are you here? But like even this season, she's kind of like, oh no, I'm gonna fight for my spot, you know. And look, I'm loving OC. I'm loving Tamara because of the mess that she bring, like so unapologetically. You know, she's like, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna get drunk, I'm gonna scream, I'm gonna do whatever it is to just stay here. And one thing that I love is good reality TV. I love to watch a show and be like, oh my god, being involved. Like that
Yes.
boat ride, I haven't seen a scene like that on Orange County in so long. You know, so chaotic. Everyone was drunk. Everyone was fighting. Shannon was like looking for like the lost son on the sea. Like, you know, it was like Heather Dubrow was like jumping and kissing Tamara on the lips. I was like, bitch, you don't even like her. Like, what are you doing? It was so crazy, you know. Like, it was good. That's good TV. So like, I'm sorry. Like, I have to like Tamara because of that. And we will have to see what comes next. But like the whole thing, the Tres Amigas, I love the Tres Amigas. I actually gonna go to their show here in California, and because one of my dreams have always been to like, I hope in one day I just want to get drunk with them. I just want to go to Mexico and get drunk with the three of them. I think that would be such a mess. Um, but yeah, I appreciate that, and I appreciate that everyone is doing something. You know, even the new one, Jennifer Petranti. Um, I mean, her storyline for the first time since again the past like 3 seasons, there is a new housewife that I could see moving forward. You
Yes.
know, talking about having an affair. You know, like she stand her ground. She is gonna be messy because she's gonna be having a lot of drama with Tamara as well. You know, so I'm loving this season, and I'm very happy that Tamara is back. I think it was very much needed.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of torn with Tamara. I like you. What you said is on point. When she is, I do like that she's part of the dynamic because she is forcing the other housewife to work harder for their spot. Even like I say, even Gina and Emily are like bringing a better game this season. I mean, Gina is finally, you know, working hard so she can get a bigger casita.
No, Gina was shaking. Imagine having Tamara back and Taylor Armstrong, who is making
I
history.
love
You
Taylor.
know, I love
Love.
Taylor. I love Taylor. Now, poor Gina, she must be like shaking. Like I have to do anything. Like I have to like fight or do whatever it needs to because they're gonna fire me.
There is a question here that I want. I don't watch Below Deck. I don't know if you do. But Mia Carla said another question: do the Real Housewives need more Below Deck episodes, or like special, like when they appear on the
I
boats?
love it. I mean, I haven't watched all Below Decks, but the ones that I watch, yeah, I do love when housewives go to Below Deck because it's a different kind of mess, you know, and watching like the people who work in the yacht trying to like make them happy and all of that. I would love to see more of that.
I um I honestly I don't get into the boat show. I'm sorry guys. I've been trying really hard to watch it and enjoy, but I can't. But all I can say is I do like when the housewives get out of their little housewife bubble and they try different things. Like
Mhm.
that's why I love Ultimate Girls Trip.
Yeah,
Because even though Ultimate Girls Trip is still a housewife ensemble, they pick different ladies from different cities, put them in a different location, which changes the dynamic. The way that the production works around Ultimate Girls Trip is way different than the production of the actual franchises. So I do appreciate when the housewife take that, like they changed the conversation when they start interacting with each other. So maybe bringing different housewives to like a below deck episode where like random like pick a few from different cities, put them on below deck, and let them just have a fun day or two on the boat and film that. I think that would be freaking amazing.
Yeah, I think it's very needed, especially like below the original. I think they have a lot of seasons already, like 8 seasons or something like
Way
that.
too many. There's way too many below decks for me to watch. That's why I don't even try.
But
Somebody
Australia,
somebody so
girl,
somebody's been somebody's been trying to get me to watch sailing something, the new one.
yeah, I don't like sailing yet. I haven't been able to connect with that one.
So somebody's like, you should watch it. I'm like, yeah, no, there's like 100 freaking below decks. Like, no, I have way too many stuff to talk about. Too many shows to watch.
I
Like,
it's so
they,
hard, right? To like put a new shows into like all the things that we already have to watch. I do
thank
not,
you.
yeah, I do not talk about Below Deck that much, especially because the thing is, the one thing that I don't like is like they change the crew every single season, so you have to fall in love with people all over again, and that's the only part that I don't like. Um, and that's why I don't like follow it religiously. Like maybe when I don't have anything to do, I will put like an episode. I like the original Below Deck. I watch almost all Mediterranean, and I was telling you the new one, the one from Australia, that one is actually really good. But I don't know if it's because the captain is really hot. So like that also kind of like
That's
like
what
capture
Erin said here. She said, like, I love below deck, down under. The captain is hot. So I'm guessing down under is the Australian.
Australian.
I mean,
Yeah,
Australian people are just hot regardless. They open their mouth and talk, and it's just like
yeah.
freaking hot.
I mean,
Like
Captain Jason.
they can be counting. They can be counting from 1 to 10, and it's just hot.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean the Captain Jason. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. Like, girl. But the show itself, it's also really good.
I'm gonna have. This is what I'm gonna do, you guys. I'm just gonna watch Below Deck, Down Under. Now that there's not as many Bravo shows to watch, because in reality we only have Sunday nights with Atlanta and Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. They end this Sunday actually. Then we have OC, and I love Project Runway, but I don't do recaps or anything because it's like a competition show.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, I hate spoiling it for people. So I kind of mention it here and there, but it's not like a recap. It's more like I really love watching Project Runway. Project Runway is literally one of the first shows from Bravo that I watched. I watched Project Runway and Queer Eye back in the early 2000s when Bravo was just before Housewives, you know? So, and because of Project Runway, I got into like fashion photography and stuff like that. So it kind of has like a special place in my heart. But I don't think it deserves like a recap. It's hard to recap that
No,
show.
no, no.
So
Shows is competition shows is it's complicated.
yeah, so basically we only have Orange County and Atlanta to talk about in at the main cast right now because Jersey's over, the scandal of it all is over. We moved on from like that
They
part.
start filming
So
today, you know that, right?
they started. Yes, you guys. Yes, they allegedly started filming today because somebody was supposed to go to Sandoval's show. I don't even know why people are going to Sandoval's show. He's not that good. He's not good. It's like stop making Tom and the extras happen. It's not going to happen. They are like a cheap ass wedding cover band. That's what they are. It's so bad. So I'm still shocked that people go to his gigs. But
That's
allegedly,
the American culture. That's the American culture right there. Every single person, no matter how bad it is, will have fans.
that's right. That's what it is. We whatever we do, we will have some fans here and there. Um but somebody was supposed to go to their show last night and they got an email and they posted it online saying like because of like filming or something, they need to postpone the show, which gave it away that the cast is filming. And then you start going through their Instagram and stuff. Some of them are getting glammed up and stuff like that. So there seems to be a hint that they started filming for season 11 today, which I think is great because I want to know what happened after. Everybody else is moving on from the drama. I want to know if what's it called? Rachel is coming back, which I heard from a blind that she is not coming back to the show.
It will be insane. I mean, look, from a reality TV point of view, I will like them to see both of them back just to get dragged a little bit more. And also, like, we have to continue the storyline.
The
We
story,
cannot
yeah,
pretend that scandal didn't happen, right?
yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I mean, she's kind of like being controlled by their parents, allegedly, and they were only if they see that she was doing better, they will allow her to come back to the show. There was like a lot of rumors going on around that. I don't think that Rachel has the mental strength to deal with this cast,
I agree. I
and
100% agree.
yeah, Lala is not gonna be going soft on her or James or Ariana or Katie or Sheena, you know. Um,
As they should.
uh, but like, but I always knew it. Like, look, this is this is a show that we have been seeing for a very long time. We know how this thing go. I'm telling you, even though everyone was so scandalous, Tom Sandoval is gonna be back, and at some point they're gonna start talking with him. It's just set to happen, because the thing with reality TV is that it's very different from real life.
Yeah.
Someone does something like that to you, you will not never speak to them like ever again. You won't even hear an explanation from them. But now you are forced to have to be with this person. So eventually, like, look, Stassi and Kristen, they were friends again. Jax and Tom Sandoval, they were friends again after the whole cheating things. It will happen. I don't think Ariana will ever gonna be BFF with Tom Sandoval, but they're gonna have to film together at some point, or Ariana is gonna have to, do the choice of leaving the show. I don't think Tom Sandoval is going to leave the show.
Yeah,
You know what I
he
mean?
needs the money.
So
He needs the money.
yeah, he needs the money. He needs the whole thing. So it's going to be interesting. I want to see also the relationship between Schwartz and Sandoval, because there has been a lot of talk that Schwartz really kind of like felt very different towards Sandoval now. Like he kind of like reassessed the whole friendship. And Jackson,
Finally.
yeah, I mean, he said some things on the show, the Mars Wherever show, but also Jax had him on his podcast, and they talk about this, and Schwartz was very much like I want to take a break from this friendship. Like he felt used as well, and it's going to be interesting because Schwartz is not used to confrontation. Schwartz is not used to like speak his mind at all. That's why he's so easily manipulated by everyone. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's gonna be able to break that toxic cycle, that they had together. When uh, I mean, well, I don't know if this is true or not because coming from Jax, but like Jax said that everyone on Schwartz and Sandy's were trying to push Sandoval away, to buy him out. Like they don't want Sandoval to be part of the restaurant anymore, and so it's going to be interesting. That's one of the things that I'm looking forward. And to be very honest with you, this whole girl power friendship that is happening right now, I do not think is gonna last. Because at the core of these friendships, we know that they have had too many problems in the past. And I don't know if like Sheena is gonna be BFF with Katie. I mean, they tried that before; it didn't work out. I don't think it's gonna working out now. Lala also tend to be very explosive towards other people. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what is going to happen next.
I mean, I do believe that at one point, I mean, they might be friendly, they might not be friends. So what that means is like, yeah, they're gonna have, good moments and maybe not as like dramatic stuff happening, but there are going to be moments in filming that something is gonna trigger something between the cast. Either somebody's gonna fight, somebody's gonna call somebody a bitch, because the word bitch comes out of their mouth, like they just roll out of their mouth. So,
Mm.
so it's gonna happen. I remember that interview with Swords, because it came out the day that I was going uh, to the Vanderpump Rules watch party in New York City. I was sitting in my hotel room, like listening to the whole thing, because I was like, I want to be ready because I'm going to see Jax tonight. He was one of the hosts of the New York City Bravo a watch party, and I told him, I was like, finally somebody got him to talk about their friendship. And I do think the Stewards, I mean, he's not innocent. I mean, he's trying to add, like, once again, he had this puppy act, like a little doggy puppy, like his eyes and his like the tone of his voice and how he sounds, like, oh my gosh. I don't buy it 100%, but I do believe that Sandoval is a mastermind at manipulating people. And in that process, I am happy that Swords kind of realized, like, hey, I maybe was one of those, puppets in his game. So, um, I'm pretty sure Katie enjoyed that part, because she's been one of the people who told him from the beginning, like, you defend this guy too much, even more than our relationship.
Yeah.
So I do think that, especially at the reunion and the secret reveal episode, I do think that Katie was vindicated for a lot of stuff that happened over the years, because people saw her as this like very upset person against Swords, and in between Swords and Sandy's friendship, when all she wanted was maybe just to be respected in the relationship. And we saw that, at least for me, I feel like Katie got a little of vindication, especially on that secret reveal when she said, like, now I'm happy and now I'm free, and I don't have to sit home and wait for
Mm.
anybody.
Mm.
So those moments you kind of like think, like, shit, like maybe Swords was this not so nice guy that we thought he was. Like, I mean, I thought he was like this like really naive person, and I mean, he was not.
To me, is I mean, their relationship never really made sense to me. You know, never from the beginning. I was like very much. I mean, Katie has a strong personality. You know, and she it's way too different from Schwartz. You know, Schwartz is very what I get from Schwartz, and even like in person when you talk to him and everything, she's very introvert. You know, like you can tell that he was like things are I don't know. It's very different for him. So I was like, that relationship never made sense to me. When they got married, I would say like, I don't know if this marriage is gonna work out. You know, like the thing is like they love each other. You know, and you can love someone, but that doesn't mean that that person is the right person for you,
For you,
right?
correct. I agree.
So and you can tell that they are best friends. You know, and that they like confide on each other and they have like talks and all of that, you know, but they were very different. And Katie always wanted something that Schwartz was never going to be able to give her,
That's
you
right.
know.
I agree.
And
100%.
yeah, so when so for some time, especially they got married the first like years or whatever, I kind of like was like, oh, you know what, maybe I was wrong, maybe they just have like a different kind of love, you know, maybe not everything has to be like you imagine that a relationship needs to be, you know, if it works for them wherever, right? Because that's what I do, like if they're happy, I'm just not gonna be saying anything else. But then going through all of this divorce, I was like, it makes so much sense to me, you know? And I'm happy that to me that they're gonna be able to like really find out who they are and what they really like. You know, Katie needs to be with someone who challenge her, you know, like mentally and like in the relationship, because she has such a strong personality and she knows what she wants, you know. She also needs someone like you said who respect her on the way that she needed to be respected, you know, like um and from Schwartz, I I don't know what kind of women it's right for Schwartz, to be honest. I think he needs to be with someone that is very calm or like passive or like
Like
I don't
super
know,
relaxed,
super
chill.
relaxed, super chill. Yeah, because that's the kind of person that he is. He does, like I said, he doesn't like to fight. He doesn't like confrontation.
Confrontation.
He's not what is it, comfortable talking. I don't think he's
Agree.
not a talker. He's not comfortable expressing his emotions. So to have someone who constantly wants that, like, I understand him, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that he's right, but I understand the kind of person that he is. And I knew for a fact that that relationship was not going to work out. And it sucks that it took 12 years for them to realize that, you know?
Crazy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I always felt like Katie and Swartz were better off as friends than as a couple. I always had that
Mm,
feeling. I
yeah,
just
100.
hope that now that they are living their lives separately, they can find a way to be happy on on whatever relationship they have with their new people, but they also can find ways to be friends because obviously after this whole scandal everybody's kind of scattered. So I'm hoping that down the lines with the scandal is finally like things from the past, especially Kate and Swords have that moment where they can actually be friendly again. um, Aaron
I
has a
really
question,
will.
and I really like this because I like when we can just talk about anything. Aaron just asked, "What is each of you favorite fight on Housewives?" This is a really good question because I have a good one that is my ultimate favorite.
Yeah. Look, I am a sucker for fights. I have to tell, like, to me, a good housewife fight is like those people who are obsessed with like WW whatever. I'm not into sports, but like like the people who fight, that I love it. Like
WWF.
the crazier the fight, girl. And I have to say, like Monique and Candace, girl. I mean, to me, that was like whoa. To see someone losing their shit. I'm the kind of person. I don't know if it's because as Latino we are very passionate and we wouldn't put with any shit from anyone, and we are not afraid of like going physical with people. That's not like here in America. Like here in America, people is like, oh no, she gave me like a slap, I'm gonna sue you. That doesn't happen over there. So uh but like when people go to the extremes, I'm like, oh, drag her, like do something, throw that wine to her face. Like I want to see that kind of shit happening. Like I keep telling people, like, go and watch the Latino version of Real Housewife. Not Housewife, not either from Atlanta will survive in the Latino version of Real Housewife. You know?
Well, I do have an ultimate favorite fight on Housewife ever, and that is and always be Amsterdam on Beverly Hills.
Oh,
The way that Kim Richards cleared that table, every single one of them, that to me is one of the most iconic moment on that franchise, and I think across
yeah,
franchises. The
girl.
way that she told Lisa Rinna to eat a bread because she was angry. The way that she called Aileen a beast. The way that
Uh,
she looked at Kyle and said like, "Oh my gosh, you were in your corner crying," and like, "Oh." All the stuff to me is by far one of the best fights because, like you said, there was some physical moment. Lisa Rinna got up, and the iconic. Let's talk about the husbands. That line. Let's talk about the husband, and when Rina reacted to that, it's still
li-
one of
ri-
those things that I know that it triggered her. But when she grabbed that glass of wine and she smashed it on the
nice. Oh,
table,
that was every, and Rena was this close because she was gonna go to like
she was
to
going for
the
the
neck.
neck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
and
imagine if
Kyle
that
Richards
would have
running
happened.
out the restaurant.
No, I mean, Kyle. I mean, if that wouldn't have gone physical, I don't know what Kyle wouldn't have done. Like, she wouldn't be like on a plane to another country, because he
That
was.
to me is, I can watch that scene daily and I will never ever get bored. I think I know every single line. Like I can put the scene on in the background and I can literally repeat verbatim what they're saying. That's how many times I watched this scene. It's insanity good.
He's so good. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, for the American TV, I that's the perfect thing, because when they know how to fight with words and cut someone else that deeply, oof, I mean,
No, King Richards that night was so on point. The
yeah.
way that she look, I mean, I still enjoy the way she just goes to one and then she looks to the other one and then she looks at Kyle, go back to Lisa, go back to Ellen, and she cleared that table. Even when Yolanda, who was on her side, was trying to like make her come to her senses, she was like, "No, Yolanda, that's not what's happening now. I'm gonna drag this bitch because she deserves it."
I
I
love it. I
cried.
love it. I mean, that's right. That's history. That should be taught in schools, because that right there is
That is part of American history.
that's American
Trust me.
history right
That should
there.
be in the books. It needs to be taught in schools. It should be an example of like when you go to like get a job, when you see those like videos for like HR, when you have to watch like I don't know, like now you have to watch video for like people with guns. What's it called? Active shooter. Like if you want to get
Mm,
a job now, you have to watch a video so you
yeah,
are
yeah,
like prepared for active shooting. Well, now you have to watch a video, have to read a bitch the way they can read and read every single one of them on that
yeah.
table.
Like, I just, and I also love that when they give us those one-liners. When they give us like those little phrases. Like, that's one of the things that I love the most. Like, Dorinda. I love. We are rewatching New York with my husband. The amount of things that Dorinda said when she's drunk, girl. I mean, that's the thing that I love so much. And well, talking to New York, I mean, New York is gonna premiere what, like, in a couple of weeks,
July 19th,
19
15th.
or
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I have the date. I have everything written down because I'm waiting for Crappy Lake to start on July 9th, and then we have New York the following week. So
I'm
I'm
excited for the new.
excited.
I'm
I'm
excited.
excited. A lot of people online are saying, "Oh, we want the old ladies back," and I know, yes, we want them back, but they're going to the freaking Ultimate Girls Trip 5. We're gonna get them. We have new people to meet, people who are younger, interested. They live all across New York, not just in one block in the Upper East Side. We're talking about people who
Mhm.
live even in Dumbo in Brooklyn. See people from Chelsea, see people from Soho, from this is how New York really works. People don't just live in the Upper East Side. So I'm happy that we get to see an entire take of what being a New Yorker really is. And people are saying, oh, they're just influencers. No, do your research before you throw
Yeah.
the word influencer. And by the way, being an influencer is not a bad thing. We need to keep that in our minds. Influencers are the new celebrities.
Yeah.
Influencers is also a job. I mean, I'm not
A
saying that I'm
very
an
hard job.
a very hard one. Like I'm
Yeah.
not an influencer. I don't think I am. I don't think Eddie the influencer, but I'm a content creator. So it's kind of like along those lines. You have to know what kind of things to create to get people attention. Like influencers, they are the product, so they have to know how to sell themselves and sell whatever they're selling so people can pay attention to them. So throwing the influencer like as like is some kind of like bad word to me doesn't make any sense. But at the
Mhm.
same time, these women are not just influencers. They actually have jobs, like real
Mhm.
jobs. So that this is different because when we met a lot of housewives, they were just housewives. They didn't have jobs.
Jobs. Yeah.
So now we have a whole set of new women that come into this world as working women. So I I always tell people before you say that just influencer, maybe take the time to read their bios and get to know them.
Mm,
I'm excited because just by the video that Bravo are like putting out every week, like the little clip from the show, the little like promo videos, I think it's going to be just a fun franchise.
yeah, I think Andy Cohen compared it to Miami, and he says it's around like kind of like the same bio as Miami. And I'm very happy because Miami became so big because they gave us what we really like. We like these big lifestyles, people who are spending a lot of money, and also they have these dramas which are dumb dramas, but they are between everyone, and everyone get involved, and then they go back together, they create a sisterhood, that, and the whole thing. So I'm very excited for New York. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm going full force. And if you are feeling like sad or wherever, I mean, Peacock has the old New York there, so you can watch it as many times as you like. You
That's
know,
right. Just watch the reruns. There's
yeah.
nobody stopping you from watching all episodes. And like I said, like it's not like these ladies are going to disappear forever. The OGs from New York are part of Bravo history. So Bravo is going to make sure to include them in some form into a show. Bravo knows that these women have a following. They're not stupid. So let's pretend
Mm,
that just because we got a new set of women, these women are going to disappear in the horizon. No, they're not. They literally have two shows coming. We had Crappy Lake with Sonia and Luan, which I'm excited because I love dumb ass shit reality
yeah,
TV. One of my favorite reality TVs of all time is literally The Simple
that's
Life.
simple
I
life. Yeah.
have every single episode. I have watched them many times. I love Paris Hilton. People say that I'm super stupid. I'm like, oh, Eddie, you're such a dumb bitch for liking Paris. I don't care. I love Paris because she doesn't take herself too seriously. So when I saw Crappy Lake during BravoCon, I got excited because I was like, so now we have a modern version of Simple Life with bravolebs that are just as aloof as Paris and Nicole.
Yeah.
So I am excited. I'm looking forward to it. And then we also have Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip coming out next year. The five that is being filmed right now. That is this whole entire cast of OG housewives from New York. So we are getting them in our TV. So people just give this new set of women from New York the chance. I'm 100% sure that based on what I heard of people who have watched the episodes, people are saying this is giving like Miami. It's like a different vibe. It's about fashion. The drama is petty. Obviously, it's a new season where you got to get to know the women, so it's going to be slow, at the beginning.
Mm,
But that's pretty much every single
no
franchise. The
chase.
first like two, three episodes are going to be us getting to know the housewives. And then it gets into the mess. Look what happened to Dubai. Dubai wasn't that bad. It felt so slow because it was a brand new franchise. But towards
Mm,
the end of the season, it was really good. You know?
I think season 2 of Dubai actually is going to be really good.
I'm excited. All those photos and the change of like friendships and stuff,
Friendships. Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be
That's going
interesting.
to be interesting. I think there is going to be a lot of like drama, and I just love this when they are this rich. Although I'm going to be missing Nina Ali so much. I don't understand why they let her go. Like, yeah, she wasn't like super like out there, but like she has money.
Money, real
Like she
money.
is real money.
Yeah,
Like
like
literally,
billionaires money.
yeah. I was talking to, I don't remember. I think it was Brooks or someone, and she said like Nina Ali is the society in Dubai. Like if you want to be part of the society, you go through Nina Ali. So she doesn't need to be extra because she doesn't need to be flashy. She has all the money in the world. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. And she is like the entrance to the society of Dubai. So what else do you need? And I feel like it will be like an weirdly enough like an honor to have her. But just
Yeah.
because she wasn't bringing like all these like super drama, then they didn't bring her back. And it was like her dad was dying of COVID. Like give her a break.
No.
But anyway, I think season 2 is going to be insanely good. I mean, like as like the changes on friendships, like is going to be interesting to see.
You know, I wish Bravo was smart enough. I'm not really sure if Netflix canceled it, but that Dubai Bling on Netflix
Yeah.
was good. Not like really good, not like crazy good, but the production value of that show was insane. Like it looks so fucking rich. And there are some cast members in that show that Bravo could have easily pulled because they are connected to the ladies of Dubai. You see them posted all the time together. I follow both casts, the cast of Dubai and the cast of the Dubai Bling show. Uh, and they hang out together. So I'm like, there's this one, I forgot her name, I think it's Sarah or something, from Dubai Bling that is so good for reality TV that I wish Bravo kind of like got her into the housewife world. But yeah, I like Dubai. I think Dubai, like I said before, it had a slow start, but I enjoyed it pretty much. And the ladies of Dubai uh, were so nice during BravoCon.
They are
So
they are
freaking
so nice.
nice.
Except Lisa Milan, I can't stand her. Sorry. Sorry, not
I
sorry.
did not say anything. Listen, I did not say anything. If you get to listen to this, I did not say anything.
But the rest of them, even Chanel, like I honestly I like every single one.
Obsessed with Chanel Ann. I met her during BravoCon more than once, but the best time was when I went to the rooftop party that was just for Bravo Labs and Jen Shah crashed that party.
Mhm.
I was dancing with Chanel Ann. We were talking. We took a photo. That I think it's like I only took like 3 photos that night, and one of those photos was with Chanel, and she was telling me like she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. I wasn't expecting this much love from people. This is like she was talking to me as if she was like the fan, you know?
Oh my
She was
god.
like, "Oh my gosh, people here are so nice." And she was like so like excited to be seen as a celebrity here. So I it was such an experience to see. Maybe because like she knows that she was a new housewife and it was like a new journey for Dubai because that's people has only seen one season and she's sitting next to ladies that has been on Bravo for decades.
Yeah.
So they feel so humble about it that I appreciate it, and I'm so excited for BravoCon. Are you going to BravoCon this year in Vegas?
I'm yeah, there is a big possibility that I'm gonna be there. It's in October, right?
It's in November.
November?
You
Oh
better
no,
be going, or
it's in November
I'm go.
1st.
It's the first week of November. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that there is a very big possibility. I'm like, ugh, it's just like I want to, and some days I don't, and then I want to do it again. And then I remember like last year, I have so much FOMO from watching everyone about BravoCon,
Just
and I'm
telling
like,
you.
I mean, and it's so close. So I mean, it's pretty much like a 90% yes. The only thing
I'm
that
telling
will
you.
that will stay in the way of not going is if for some reason I'm not in the United States.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying that if I'm flying all the way from New York to Vegas, don't make me drive from Vegas to LA to drag you by your
no,
hair
no,
all the way across the fucking Vegas desert, across the Nevada desert.
okay.
Because I will. You have to go. Trust me.
I wonder
It,
when are they gonna drop the tickets?
I believe it's at the end of July, for my understanding, because last year they dropped at the end of July. So I spoke to somebody that is disconnected with the Bravo stuff, and they told me that um, towards the end ish of the summer, so it should be like July, August. So that's what happened last year too. Last year were the week before Halloween, so they dropped the tickets the last week of July. So I'm expecting that they're gonna be dropping at this like around
But
the
this
same time as
this
last
year
year.
is gonna literally fall on Halloween because everyone is gonna be doing Halloween that weekend.
I know.
It's going
And I'm
to
gonna
be
be in
like
Vegas for it.
it's going to be crazy. I have never been on Vegas for Halloween.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Well,
Yeah,
Andy, anything that you want to plug right now? This is the time of the night where you have a platform to promote everything that you
yeah.
have going on right now.
Well, guys, I mean, I'm back everywhere, so you can find me as the real Andy of Beverly Hills. So that's my YouTube channel, or anywhere on the social media world as real Andy VH. And I'm officially starting my podcast. I think next week is going to be my official first video, because the videos that I did before is like when I was like kind of like playing with it and stuff. But like my official first video for the podcast is gonna be dropping next week. It's called "Let's Talk About This Mess with the Real Andy of Beverly Hills." It's on Patreon. If you go to my Instagram or my YouTube or wherever, the links are in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, you can find me.
Well, you guys, you heard Andy. Go follow him on YouTube. Go subscribe to his Patreon. And like I always said, you guys, the best way for you guys to help us grow is by simply rate or leave comment or likes our content, because that helps us to put it on the algorithm. It make people watch our content. So please, 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 like I
Yeah.
always say, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my podcast, but leave a comment or rate our podcast, because that helps us podcasters to survive in this sea of content creators. And if you want extra tea, you can find it at Martini with Eddie on Twitter and Instagram. You can find my merch on martinywitheddy.com. And also, like I said, I'm dropping daily little nuggets, little videos on YouTube, exclusively on my YouTube channel, with Bravo News on the daily. And it's called Martini with Eddie, a shot of reality. Andy, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
No, thank you, Eddie, for having me, and I'll see you. Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay, besties.
Bye.
Bye, besties.